Hello, welcome back to my channel. I felt inspired to give another video with information that might help others that are going through what they call as a dark awakening, what I call as a dark awakening, because the love and light community doesn't want to look at darkness because they think it's going to hurt them. Real incarnated angels know who they are, have gone through this dark period in their awakening. And what happens is early on in the awakening process, this love and light community, you take shelter in that energy because you get frightened. Your psychic abilities start to develop very quickly. It could have been what they call here in the Matrix a kundalini awakening. You had a third eye blowout through drug use. You started hearing voices, seeing things, lights, channeling energy, connecting to extraterrestrials, which is what I did. And what happens is there starts to develop a need to run away from anything that is deemed a low vibration. So I know I touched on this in the first video, but I want to just go over a little bit so that you understand if you're watching this is probably early on in your awakening, and you may be seeing demons or reptilian. This is not insanity. What is going on is that your extrasensory perceptions are widening and becoming more in tune with energy. Everything is energy. That's all it is. It's an energy. And the energy will take on a physical form. And sometimes it'll just come in the way of just light, or it will come in the shape of animals. I get a lot of like lion beings or lions appearing in my visions. Sometimes early on, I was having a lot of Egyptian energy coming through. All of that starts to happen early on in your awakening. Now, everybody is different with their awakenings, and I can talk about Walter in another video. But I just want to give a little bit more backstory on where I'm coming from, so you know that whatever's happening to you is you're not dying. You're dying in the sense that of the matrix confines. That is what's dying. Your world as you knew it before is no longer. It is deconstructing, and it's painful. Now, when I say painful, it's painful. Sorry, I'm putting some lip balm. I burned my lips in Tombstone, Arizona. The wind and the sun, it was crazy. So your matrix world, they call it the matrix or the cyborg or the computer. It starts to deconstruct, and it starts to show signs of breakage. And this can be very scary for people who may have a stronger egoic structure, so to speak, or who are dependent upon the density of this matrix for survival. It just depends. There are different variety of ways of awakening. Some people were striking a yoga pose and boom, they start hearing voices and seeing things, and then next thing you know it, they're going to a psychiatrist, and then they start taking the medications, because the dark side, which has a huge influence on you as you first awaken, because when you awaken, this is a third alarm like siren to the dark side to come and swoop in to confuse you, scare you, tell you. They start to infiltrate your thoughts, and then you start to think you're schizophrenic. And then people who are seeing you, if you are being authentic with them, if they start seeing you exhibit these abilities or express these things, they're gonna say you're crazy. It's guaranteed. So what you want to do is, what I did with my family is I did not divulge anything. I tried to keep as much stability in my life as possible. The last thing you want to do is give up your job, give up your apartment, and go live in the woods, because you will starve and you will end up homeless and nobody will help you. I said in the last video, I think, or in another video, you do not want to give up your foundation yet. Too many people who become psychically awakened think that they have to leave their matrix world to go seek refuge in the forest. It's a great idea, but you run the risk of being homeless and abandoned, and especially a lot of these angels that awaken have strained relationships with families. So you don't want to give up your stability if you have it. This is what I did. I stayed working, and it was difficult because I became psychically sensitive physically. Feel energy, know energy, see it, feel it, perceive it. And working in a busy medical office, this was a challenge and then dealing with patients and dealing with psychic attacks at work through my coworkers. I could see it coming. And I'm 4 years into this, and it gets worse as time goes by, because my awareness is expanding to the point where I see it. And my coworkers on a soul level, they themselves are psychically weak, and they are on the not so nice spectrum. They're into the competition of their job positions. They want to be better than you. They have this big ego downline into their jobs and into their lives, where they feel they have to diminish the importance of other people to make them feel really good. It's like schoolyard shit, and it happens on an adult level, unfortunately, in this society, in this matrix, in this fucked up place. You see the misery everywhere. You got the homeless people, you've got sick people, you've got people who are so-called mentally challenged. There's just so much going on, and then people will go into their own little bubble and see that everything is fine, but it's not. But guess what? Along came coronavirus. Nothing is fine. That's a whole other video, and I can explain it to you if you like. There's a psychic spiritual reason why all of that happened. But if you are stuck in 3D mode, which most people who died from coronavirus was stuck in 3D mode, this universe as we know it is shifting. More and more of you will begin to awaken to the fact that you're in a simulated reality. You've been lied to since the day you were born. There are dark forces that run this universe, this computer, whatever you want to call it. You have to do the research and stop believing everything you see on the media. The first thing you got to do is stop watching TV. It's creating your reality. If you don't understand that at this point, then you watching me is futile, because you have to understand how energy works. And because this is new for me, I'm going to start posting links to certain documentaries that are going to assist you on YouTube. So there is conspiracy theories wrapped up in all of this awakening, but the Love and Light community will not direct you to that. Why? Because the false light, which is what it is, disguised as light. So they'll come and let me connect you with Archangel Michael, $300 per half-hour session, and we will clean your auric field, and we will perform a healing on you, and you will be enlightened. It's all bullshit. Okay? They are connecting to energies that they think are from source, and it's not. And you are taking a huge gamble. When you pay etherically, you are signing a contract with these beings, and now they're there to mess with you on a regular basis. And as your psychic abilities grow, you will be more susceptible to the BS that is out there. So you're saying, okay, what do I do for help? What do I do in this awakening? How do I navigate? Guess what? The beings from source that will connect to you on an intimate level without it being brought in by another person. It will happen organically. And you don't have to wish. You can ask your inner guidance, and don't put a label or a name on that energy, because then you link your energy up with other beings that may not be beneficial for you. Always going with inner information energy. Do not take information from other people unless they've received it from themselves. If it's something that is generic all over the board, and Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, -13. I'm putting numbers on it because it cancels out me calling them. And I'll let Walter go into all of that later on, but I need to kind of ease you into it because there's just so much going on and it's just a lot of information. So you want to just begin by not going to psychics. Don't watch these Love and Light Ascension people. Don't do their meditations. You don't need it. Yes, you need guidance during an awakening, but guess what? You are it. You are it. And some people don't make it out of these awakenings. They end up in psych wards. They end up homeless. They end up abusing drugs because they can't take the reality anymore. It's too much. There's a lot of soul harming going on in this matrix through pharmaceuticals, through the food we eat, through the information given to us, all meant to stagnate your consciousness into a box. And you want to be willing to tread in the shadows of Source's dark wings, because if you go out, I am love and light, and I am the light, and raise my frequency, guess what? You may not be attracting the highest vibrational beings. What if everything you were taught in your awakening is BS? We are dealing with off-planet energy, which people call extraterrestrials. They exist. Sorry, But this is a fact. And you don't want to deal with that? That's fine. They'll keep joysticking you around because that's what they have the technology to do. They can tap into your mind. They can give you messages to do stupid shit. Some people are saying, well, no, Veronica, you must be schizophrenic, la la la. No. I was 49 years old when I had my, let's just say, my event of awakening. Like I had various awakening moments in my life. But at 49 years old, boom, it became not only a spiritual awakening, it was a physical awakening in my body of the etherical. That makes sense. There's a lot more information. I will put it on here. I don't want to go too long. I don't like long videos myself when I'm watching or trying to get information. I will link, I'll give you my email address, realdarkawakenings.neg963 at gmail. So that's REALDARKAWAKENINGS.neg963 at gmail, and I'll post a link down there. So there's so much to cover. And I will, there are particular medicinal natural medicines that assist you in being able to perceive the etherical or to resolve particular issues within the shadow self. There's a shadow self. Yes, everyone has it. The shadow self is all your shit that you're bringing along from other lifetimes. And the shadow self needs to be looked at because therein lies the answers to your healing and awakening. So, there's going to be a lot of strangeness, bizarre experiences that you would think you would only have on a mushroom trip, but you're having them on a regular basis. Expect the bizarre, expect beautiful moments too. It's going to happen more often. That's why I'm here to assist, here to help anyone that needs guidance. And my boyfriend Walter also is here to assist, and he is awakened on a different level. There's a story there, and I can link his. It's quite different. It's a lot of information, but if you are at that level, you'll be able to understand it. Okay, leave any comments or questions in the box. Thank you for watching.